All right, let's talk about something that is, for so many people, one of the most maddening experiences you can go through. It's a cycle that so many of us know by heart, and it always seems to start with a win.
You did it. You felt amazing, you were proud, you were getting compliments, and then poof. It's like it all just evaporated. And sometimes it comes back with a few extra pounds, just for fun. But what if I told you that this happening has almost nothing to do with your willpower failing?
And that is the big secret. That's the whole thing. We beat ourselves up, right? We think we failed, that we just didn't try hard enough. But the truth is, your body has this secret, ancient defense system that is designed to fight you tooth and nail to get that way back. So today, let's pull back the curtain on that system.
To really get what's going on, you have to meet the main characters in this story, the ones who are basically hijacking your best efforts from the inside. Think of them as your body's internal management team, and, well, they are not thrilled about your new diet plan.
So first up on the scene, you've got cortisol, your body's main stress hormone. The best way to think about cortisol is like a super panicked middle manager. The moment you start aggressively cutting calories, this massive red alarm goes off in your body and cortisol comes sprinting in, totally convinced that you're stranded in the wilderness facing a famine.
And this guy immediately starts barking orders. He's screaming at your fat cells to lock down, to hoard every bit of energy, especially around your stomach. And while he's desperately holding on to fat, he's also looking for quick fuel. So he starts tossing your precious metabolism-boosting muscle right into the furnace. Why? Because from his point of view, in an emergency, muscle is just too expensive to keep around.
Okay, so let's say you power through all that stress and you actually lose some weight. Well, your body's not done yet. It unleashes its next agent, ghrelin. You can just call this guy the hunger gremlin. He lives in your stomach and his one and only job is to make you feel absolutely ravenously hungry.
Now, check this out, because this is how your body literally turns your own hunger into a weapon. After you lose a good amount of weight, your ghrelin levels can shoot up by 20%, sometimes even more. And this isn't just, oh, I'm a little peckish. No, this is like the volume on your hunger being cranked up to 11 all day, every day.
And here is the absolute cruelest twist in this whole story. This isn't just a problem for a few weeks. The science shows that this intense, chemically driven hunger can stay cranked up for a full year, sometimes even longer after you've lost the weight. Your body is literally using its own hormones to beg, plead, and scream at you to eat more.
So you're fighting this constant, gnawing hunger. And then the weekend hits. You have that one meal you've been looking forward to. And the next morning, you step on the scale, and it's up 5 pounds. Instant panic, right? But hold on. Is it even physically possible to gain 5 pounds of fat overnight? Come on, let's do the math.
Okay, so to gain just 1 pound of actual body fat, you need to eat about 3,500 calories above what you burn. So to gain 5 pounds of fat, you would have to have eaten an extra 17,500 calories. In one day, that's not a cheap meal, that's a food-eating competition against a bear. So what on earth is actually happening?
The answer, my friends, is glycogen. See, when you're dieting, especially if it's low carb, you drain your body's carbohydrate stores. Think of it like wringing out a sponge until it's super dry and light. Well, that cheat meal, full of delicious carbs, is like taking that dry sponge and dunking it into a bucket of water. It just soaks everything up. And for every single gram of glycogen you store, your body pulls in 3 to 4 grams of water right along with it. That is your 5-pound gain. It's almost all water.
And of course, there's one more character at this party. Insulin. Insulin is like an overeager warehouse manager. After weeks of nothing coming in, suddenly this massive truckload of carbs shows up. He freaks out and starts frantically shoving it anywhere it can fit. First into your muscles, then your liver, and any leftovers? Oh yeah, that's going straight to long-term storage in your fat cells. That whole rush is what gives you that puffy, bloated feeling.
So we've got hormones that are making you stressed out, starving, and bloated, but your body has another trick up its sleeve, and this one is way sneakier. It starts to quietly, secretly, slow down your entire metabolism.
The fancy science term for this is adaptive thermogenesis, but a much better way to think about it is your body getting an efficiency upgrade. It senses that less food is coming in, so it says, okay, I guess we need to learn to run on less fuel. It's like a little repairman sneaks over to your body's thermostat and just quietly turns it down from high to power saver mode.
And this is where it gets really crazy. First, if you drop just 10% of your body weight, your resting metabolism can drop by 15%, way more than it should just from being smaller. But here's the other part. Your body dials down all your unconscious fidgeting, tapping your foot, taking the stairs, talking with your hands. That can secretly steal anywhere from 200 to 800 calories from your daily burn, and you don't even realize it's gone.
Now, we've got to talk about the final piece of this metabolic puzzle, muscle. Your muscle mass is your metabolic engine. It's what burns calories even when you're just sitting on the couch. A bigger engine burns more gas. Well, when you crash diet without enough protein or any resistance training, you lose a ton of muscle. It's like your body forcibly trades in your powerful V8 engine for a tiny, fuel-efficient 4-cylinder.
And that leads us straight into the yo-yo trap, which is just cruel. When you regain the weight, which is easy to do with a slower metabolism, it comes back almost entirely as fat. So look at this. You can end up at the exact same number on the scale as when you started, but you have a completely different body. You have less muscle, more fat, and a slower metabolism. You are actually metabolically worse off than you were before you even started the diet.
So when you lay all the pieces out like this, you start to realize something. You haven't been in a fair fight with a pizza craving. You've been fighting a full-scale biological war, and the deck has been completely stacked against you from the start. And if this has happened to you, I want you to know you are not alone. You're in the vast majority. This number is just staggering. About 80% of people who lose a lot of weight will have it all back or more within 5 years. Now, either 80% of the population has absolutely zero willpower, or maybe there's something bigger going on here.
So let's look at the real matchup. It's a tug of war. On one side of the rope, you've got your willpower, your grit, your determination. And on the other side, your biology has assembled an entire army. You've got cortisol, the panicked manager, ghrelin, the hunger gremlin, a slower metabolism, less muscle, and a body that's secretly moving less. Your body has millions of years of evolution designed for one thing, to prevent starvation. And it will pull every single one of those levers to get you back to what it thinks is safe.
But here's the good news. Understanding this fight is the first step to actually winning it. See, it's not about mustering up more willpower. It's about having a smarter strategy. It's about learning to play the second game, the one that most people don't even know exists.
And this right here is probably the single biggest mental shift you can make. We all think hitting that goal weight is the finish line. Nope. The truth is, maintenance isn't the after party. Maintenance is the party. It's the whole plan. You have to actively spend months, sometimes a whole year, teaching your body that this new, lower weight is the new normal and that the famine is over. So this is what the playbook looks like. Instead of fighting your biology, you start working with it. You use moderate calorie deficits so you don't sound that cortisol panic alarm. You eat a ton of protein and you lift weights to tell your body, hey, keep this V8 engine, we need it. And most important of all, you treat that maintenance phase with the same focus and respect you gave to losing the weight in the first place. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Are you just playing to lose the weight, or are you playing to keep it off? Because winning the first part is temporary. Winning the second part, keeping it off for good, that's the part that actually changes your life. And now that you know there's a second game, you're already way ahead of the curve.